The Allies had thousands of ships, millions of men, and the biggest invasion plan in human history, but everything depended on a single weather report, stolen from a tiny Irish station that wasn't even supposed to be part of the war. In June 1944, the Allied commanders faced a terrifying truth. The invasion of Normandy could fail before the first soldier stepped on the beach. The English Channel was a beast, violent waves, unpredictable winds, and storms that could flip landing craft like toys. Eisenhower needed one thing above all: the perfect weather window. Yet every military meteorologist was reading the same charts, and they all warned the same thing: a deadly storm was forming. If the Allies guessed wrong, tens of thousands of men would die before sunrise. On the western edge of Ireland stood a quiet civilian weather station in Blacksod Bay, remote, sleepy, and far from the eyes of the war. Its job was simple: report temperature, wind, and pressure, nothing more. But what no one realized was that this station, facing the open Atlantic, was the first place to feel incoming weather changes. One shift in pressure here meant a storm or a break would hit Britain next. And on June 3rd, something unusual happened. The readings didn't match what Allied forecasters believed. The station was run by a young woman named Maureen Flavin. She wasn't a soldier, she wasn't a spy. She simply read instruments, wrote numbers, and sent them to Dublin. But on that day, she noticed something shocking. The pressure had dropped sharply. A storm was forming fast. Her report contradicted every British forecast. Maureen sent it anyway, calm, precise, unaware that her message was about to travel straight into the hands of Allied intelligence, and it would spark immediate alarm. When British meteorologists received the Irish reading, confusion broke out. The main forecast models said improving weather, but Maureen's data said the opposite. Someone was wrong, and if the Allies trusted the wrong forecast, D-Day would turn into a slaughter. One senior forecaster, Group Captain James Stagg, demanded the data be checked again. He trusted the Atlantic more than any model, and if Blacksod Bay said a storm was coming, he believed it. By June 4th, chaos filled the Allied command room. Ships were already sailing. Troops were already loading. The invasion was almost in motion. Then Stagg entered the room, holding the Irish report in his hand. "Sir, the storm will hit within hours." Eisenhower froze. Everything hinged on his next words. With millions of lives on the line, he made the brutal call: postpone the invasion. Ships turned around. Soldiers waited in confusion, and the world held its breath. For 24 hours, rain hammered the channel. Winds howled. Waves rose like walls. If the invasion had launched, the force would have been destroyed. But then, something unexpected happened. Blacksod Bay reported rising pressure. A narrow, almost impossible window of calm was approaching. Only 36 hours long, Stagg rushed the news to Eisenhower. It was the break they prayed for, maybe their only chance. Eisenhower looked at his commanders and spoke the words that would change history: "We go." On June 6th, Allied soldiers hit the beaches under gray skies but stable winds. The storm had weakened just enough to allow landings. Not perfect weather, just survivable. And survivable was all they needed. The Germans, expecting storms, were caught off guard. Rommel wasn't even in France. The entire invasion, Omaha, Utah, Juneau, soared gold, unfolded in a narrow window only one tiny weather station had predicted. Hours after the landings, British meteorologists confirmed the truth. The Irish report had been right all along. Without it, the Allies would have launched straight into the worst seas of the month. Landing craft would have capsized. Aircraft would have been grounded. Paratroopers would have scattered across the channel. The invasion would have failed before it began. One accurate reading, one moment of integrity, had preserved the largest military operation ever attempted. For years, Maureen Flavin never knew her report changed the war. She simply returned to her life, unaware that historians would later call her reading the message that saved D-Day. She wasn't a general or a commander. She wasn't even in the military. She was just a woman doing her job on an ordinary day, proving that sometimes history is shaped not by the powerful, but by the unnoticed. Today, D-Day is remembered as a story of courage, sacrifice, and steel. But behind the thunder of guns and the roar of aircraft lies a quiet moment in a small Irish outpost, numbers written by hand that altered the fate of nations. If you love powerful hidden stories like this, stories where ordinary people end up changing the world, make sure you subscribe. Because the next one is even more unbelievable.